You're listening to the Tax Insights podcast, where the professionals at Hawkins Ash CPAs break down complex tax topics into bite-sized how-tos. In this 5 minutes, Jeff Dvorachek, a tax partner, explores the various ways hiring a child or spouse can maximize the tax savings of a family-owned business.
Welcome to Tax Insights, presented by Hawkins Ash CPAs.
And a good morning, listeners. Welcome back to Tax Insight here on the Lakeshore's Good Neighbor, WOMT. We got Jeff joining us once again from Hawkins Ash. Jeff, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Terry.
All right, today, my friend, the question of the day: should I hire my kids to work for my business? A lot of family-owned companies out there, so let's address kids and working.
Yeah, and not only hiring your kids, but also your spouse in your business can provide a lot of tax benefits. But there's more than just tax benefits to doing this.
All right, so what are these advantages of hiring family members and putting them on the payroll?
So one of the advantages is that you can move income from a higher tax bracket down to a lower tax bracket. And, that family member can actually contribute to a retirement plan, or they can use those funds to pay for, regular expenses, or you can actually save money and put money away for school.
All right, so let's start off by talking about moving the income into a lower tax bracket. Walk us through this.
Yeah, so as most people know, there's like 8 different tax brackets, and they range from 0% up to 37%. So hiring a child works really well, especially for parents that are in that higher brackets, the 32, 35, or 37% bracket. Because let's say you hire your child and you pay them, $5,000, $10,000, or even up to $12,000. That child is going to pay 0% for federal income tax. Now, they're probably going to have to pay some Social Security and Medicare, but they're not going to have to pay any income tax. So that could save a family about $2,100 for every $10,000 worth of salary that you pay them, because the child's in a lower tax bracket than the parent.
So then you mentioned retirement plans. Walk us through this.
Yeah, and this works really well for spouses. So you can pay your spouse, $5,000, $10,000, or even $20,000. And depending on the type of retirement plan that you have, all of this income can get contributed to a retirement plan. So it works the same way that we just talked about with children. It allows an income tax deduction, so you're not paying income tax on those wages because you're putting them in retirement plans. All you're really paying is the Social Security and Medicare. So once again, the tax savings could be, $2,000 for every $10,000 that you pay your spouse, and your spouse puts in a retirement plan.
So for a child, they can make a Roth IRA contribution, correct?
Yeah, this is something that I really like because it makes it even better since, as long as they have earned income, the child, they can contribute to a Roth IRA. Now, they don't get a tax deduction for putting money into the Roth, but who cares? They don't need it. They're taxed at 0%. And this money is going to grow tax-free until they decide to take it out for anything, for anything when they retire, or they can take it out even earlier, the contributions, and pay for their college.
So speaking of school, can the business actually pay for a child's education?
Technically you can in certain circumstances, but it's pretty complicated and the situation has to be just right. So what I would do is I would hire your child and set aside the funds that you're paying them, set those aside for college. It takes a little bit of planning, but it can be done.
So lastly here, Jeff, because time is running out, can a child be paid any amount?
They really can, but here's the biggest thing. Those wages have to be justified for the amount of work that they do. And you want to make sure you're treating them like a regular employee. So you can't pay them to do nothing. If they're young, they may have to get a work permit. They have to keep a timesheet. And you really should have an accurate job description on what they're doing. In other words, make them a legit employee.
Right. Jeff, great information here each and every week on Tax Insight. How do listeners connect with the team over at Hawkins Ash?
I would visit our website, which is hawkinsash.cpa, like us on Facebook, or follow us on YouTube for more quick and entertaining tax tips.
And we'll talk to you next week.
This has been Tax Insights, presented by Hawkins Ash CPAs. Learn more online at hawkinsashcpas.com. Hawkins Ash CPAs. Part of your business, part of your life.